Hello everyone, it's Cerys and I have teamed up with MD UK again to answer some questions from my video on Lgmd Awareness Day. I just wanted to say as well, thank you so much for all the support that was shown from those videos. It really means a lot to me and it's great that that was able to raise some awareness for Lgmd. So the first question from one of my posts was, is there a treatment for muscular dystrophy? And to be honest, there's no cure for this, but there is research going on at the moment for different treatments and gene therapy as well. Another comment that was left on my video was, I have the same thing. Do you have a drop foot and do you limp bad like I do? I don't have drop foot. I am aware that this is a very common symptom for Lgmd and at the moment I'm trying to maintain what I have with regular physio exercises to try and prevent that from happening anytime soon. But yes, I do limp. I have weakness in my knees which causes them to turn in, so I definitely can't walk straight. My knees do turn in when I walk and therefore gives me a bit of a limp. A question I got from the MD UK team was, do I experience fatigue? And if so, do I have any advice for managing this? I do experience fatigue quite a lot, but I think it depends on the day. It depends how much work I've done physically. It depends what I've had on that day that might cause some stress and things like that. So my advice would be to just kind of take it day by day and know your limits. That's really important. Don't overdo it, and that'll reduce burnout as well then. Another question is, what advice would I give a young adult or a teenager who is living with a muscle wasting condition? I think it's really easy to fear the future, knowing that our condition will worsen over time. The fear for the future can be quite big, and it is quite daunting to think that we won't be able to do things that we can do now. So my advice would be, and this is definitely a thing for me as well, is to just take it one day at a time and be grateful for what you have. No one knows what will happen in the future, so just listen to your body and do what you can do that day. Every day is different, so just take it easy on yourself, and your body is trying its hardest. The next question is, what supports did I find helpful when I was going through secondary school, and do I have any advice about school and peers? I think my condition wasn't very obvious in school, so the help I needed I sought from professionals within the school that were able to help me and offer things like being able to use the lift instead of having to take the stairs for me, especially when that got quite difficult for me. So there were always teachers that were aware of my condition, so my advice would be to always let a teacher know. It doesn't have to be every teacher, maybe something like a physical education teacher that might not be aware of your condition, just to tell them to take it easy. That's something I didn't really do at the beginning of high school, so the teachers were quite hard on me for not working very hard, but it was actually just because I wasn't able to go as fast as anyone else or participate in as many different activities. So it's definitely important to let someone know about your condition just so that there is some support there. It's also nice as well to speak to one of your friends about it, someone that you might trust, just so you also have someone your age that's able to look out for you and be that kind of helping hand if you do need any extra support. The next question is, do I have any adaptations in my house that have been useful to help me do tasks like getting up and dressed? Recently, I was able to get some bars to help me get up from the toilet, which is really useful because toilet seats tend to be lower than chairs. So that's something that's really helped me just kind of have there as an extra support to push me up rather than having to use the toilet seat lid, because who wants to do that? That's gross. At the moment, I do find it quite hard getting dressed, but I don't have any adaptations for that at the moment, but hopefully soon I will be able to have something that'll help me. If you guys know any recommendations, please let me know. That'll be really useful. The last question is, where can we stream your podcast? Again, thank you so much for all the love that you've shown for the podcast. It really does mean a lot, and it's just so good to see so many people coming together and spreading awareness for this condition and also making friends through it, which is great. My podcast is available to stream on Spotify. If you search Unbalanced with Cerys Davidge, it'll come up, and my first episode is all about growing up with limb-girdle muscular dystrophy. I also interview other people with different conditions, and if you are interested in being interviewed and sharing your story, I would love for you to get involved. So just drop me a message on Instagram and I would love to have a chat. I like that I'm using the podcast as a kind of vocal diary to keep track of how the condition is affecting me, and it's also useful for other people to know how Lgmd2I is affecting someone else other than just them. So I do find it useful for that, and I know that other people have reached out to me and have said that it's useful for them, which is great.